This right here is probably the best gaming PC deal I've ever seen. For $800, it has 32 gigabytes of DDR5, a 1 terabyte NVMe, and that alone is over $400, if not $500. And we're gonna be going through the other parts because they're actually pretty solid as well. And it comes with this huge quick start guide that looks pretty nice, and also a warranty. That is a very big part of this purchase. I do this all the time in my builds. I'm pretty sure everyone does this. Instapack foam, very nice, because it secures the GPU and the air cooler very well, because those can usually snap off in shipping. But yeah, that was pretty simple. So as I was setting up this PC, I ran into a few issues. First things first, it took a long time to boot, and I bet that was the case because this PC has been sitting for probably over a year because of the parts, which I do mention later in this video. And yet here's just a quick time lapse of what has been going on. Also, when I loaded up the PC finally, it was a bit slow, so I ended up just resetting Windows completely, and then everything was fine after that. After solving any of the issues that I potentially created, we have this PC right here. And when we look at the specs here and the pricing, it actually gets even more insane. Even Micro Center struggles to compete against this PC right here. I'd argue this one is definitely better value for your money. If we look at the market right now, the cheapest I've ever seen 32 gigabytes of DDR5 in the past few months is $270, and those sell out usually within like 30 minutes. So really the only way you can save money is by buying combos or bundles from Micro Center. But also we have a 1 terabyte NVMe, pretty solid drive. I believe it's Gen 4, and those go for at least $140. I have scooped up some for $110. There's some AliExpress deals I found. There's some eBay deals I found, even TikTok shop, but those are all like Gen 3 drives. This one is even better. But the main parts, like the processor, is the i5-14400F. Now that is a very solid processor, and if we're comparing it to AMD, that's somewhere between a Ryzen 5 7600 and probably a 7500F. It really depends on what you're looking at here, but that is some very close performance. And considering it's a DDR5 build, that's a pretty fair comparison. But yeah, that also pairs pretty well with our graphics card, which is an Intel Arc B580. The GPU has gone up past $300, and considering this whole PC is probably old stock, it is insane how much it has grown in value. Now, something that doesn't really make sense nowadays is having 32 gigabytes of DDR5 in this PC, especially since the RAM costs more than the graphics card. Other than that, it's still a very balanced build. And I mean, if we are adding up all the parts here, including the motherboard, the power supply, and the case, which are all very solid, the motherboard is a bit lower end, but trust me, it's good enough. It has Wi-Fi as well. But with all this yap, the only thing that makes sense is if we test the gaming benchmark to see, is this actually good? We have no idea until now. All right, so we are jumping into some Fortnite, of course, like we always do. We got 1440p in performance mode. Then we just have far view distance as well. These are like the pro settings, I guess. What would be even better is 1080p, but we'll do that soon. Oh, that was probably a bot. But anyways, we can see we're getting like an average of 280 FPS. Obviously, when we go into new areas, it's gonna lower down to that 240 mark. Regardless, you probably don't even have more than 240 FPS or 240 Hertz on your monitor. But anyway, I mean, I might as well, just in case I die, I'm gonna change this to 1080p to see if there is that much of a difference. Keep in mind, we're at about 280 FPS. But yeah, we're definitely seeing closer to 300 FPS, not a huge increase, but that is what you should expect. That should hit. That is what you should expect if you are running 1080p. Bro, how are these not headshots, man? Let's go. I might as well see if I can win this game. I normally just want to see the benchmarks and kind of move on, but I'm kind of invested now. I knew I'd get sniped. Yo. 200. Oh, 200 pumps in this game. I just want to snipe, bro. Oh my. No way. Let's go. I'm just better, bro. Keep it. Yep. All right, 300 FPS, kind of 277 on average while in endgame, intense gameplay. You gotta subscribe for the victory, you know what I'm saying? All right, so we're on some Forza Horizon 6. Now this is a pretty high demanding game, I'm pretty sure, and it just came out. Obviously, you might wanna know the frames in this game because you might be looking to get it. We're just gonna start driving around here. We did just load in, so it might be a bit choppy at times, but it actually feels pretty good. If you're wondering what settings I'm running, in our video, we got 1440p, maximum of 200 FPS. We're not gonna hit that anyway. And just the standard motion blur it comes with, and then resolution scaling, we have it on our Intel quality option right now. Yeah, so as you can see, we're getting around 120 to 130 FPS. I'm not gonna be doing anything crazy here. And yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna quickly change it to see if there's much of a difference with some of these other settings. I think something I wanna check out here is, let's see the highest settings we can run. Ultra quality plus on the resolution scaling, and then we'll do ultra here. You know what? That's still pretty good. I mean, 80 FPS. I'm not gonna really change it any higher than this because I don't really know if it's even worth it. I prefer a little bit higher frame rate, but obviously the game looks pretty good and you're definitely getting over that 60 FPS, which is the goal. And yeah, you'd be using something like controller in this game anyway, and lower frame rates honestly feels so much better on controller or on a game like, yeah, we're going down here, I guess. But I'm not satisfied quite yet. Obviously, this is a bit irrelevant. We're doing 1080p, but we're going performance, 150 FPS in the lowest settings, but the other ones we're running pretty dang good. So I would just use some higher settings at 1440p and you're good to go. Now we're on some Arc Raiders. We have the Intel upscaling with the quality, and then 1440p, no VSync, no motion blur. And it looks like medium is what it's giving us. All right, and it looks like around 160 FPS is what we're gonna be looking at. And the game does look pretty good with that on still. Obviously, as we run outside, we might see some frame stutters, maybe a little bit of drop in FPS. Yeah, 170 to 180 here is pretty good. High settings now, and then that does decrease our FPS a bit here. I guess you can't go that way. But yeah, it does increase it quite a bit, 40 to 50 FPS loss there. But I mean, still really good frames, and it looks even better. Ultra quality plus. And then this is probably the high settings I'd run. It's still 80 to 100, not bad at all. My benchmarking things aren't really working, but as you can see, about 80 FPS. But it's not too bad. We'll definitely take that at, you know, some of the high settings you can run, which is pretty insane, even at 1440p as well. But I am not satisfied until I see 1080p ultra performance and then low settings. And yeah, that definitely looks a lot worse. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I'd get more FPS here. Wouldn't recommend these settings, but obviously if you want the most frames possible, can go up to that. All right, now we're on some Marvel Rivals. We got this amazing gameplay going on. Anyways, we got 1440p Intel ultra quality. I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess that's just an Intel thing. And then I guess medium settings. You know what? Let's just run it like this. Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I'm already off of that. What was it, 100 FPS? Yeah, perfect. All right, balanced, low, confirm. Oh, I'll pretend like I know what I'm doing. So yeah, that was pretty easy. I think about 150 to 170 FPS, so we're looking at there, but I'm not satisfied enough. Give me 1080p. Oh my gosh, I have no idea if I'm doing it right. What am I? I'm just pressing stuff. Yeah, so that was something. FPS running good though. And now we're finally on Cyberpunk. And for some reason, it wants me to run Ray Tracing Ultra. So you know what? 1440p. Let's just do it. And we are definitely not running ray tracing in this game. Let's forget that. And let's just do ultra no ray tracing, because I mean, you're not gonna wanna ray trace anyway with this GPU there's no point even trying it. And 85 FPS, not bad at all. Definitely very playable, pretty good. That's the settings I'd probably recommend in this game because you obviously don't need that high of FPS past 60. So it's pretty good. So with that in mind, let's do the most amount of FPS possible. Once again, I have this game open twice. All right, now it's time to run the lowest settings and see the most that this computer can do on Cyberpunk. And 140 FPS, pretty good. I don't even know what to say about that. I wouldn't even run it, but you know what? That's what you can get if you're interested. Anyways, that is all the benchmarks done. So cut to the tripod. Well, I'm ready on a tripod. So yeah, this PC is pretty good and definitely worth it. But real talk, if you're buying a $1,000 gaming PC, I normally recommend to just build it. I have plenty of videos on that. And obviously prices constantly change. It's really hard to replicate a video exactly, but this PC is still available. At least I hope it still is when I post this video. Oh, it turned off. Anyways, this PC can handle pretty much any game you throw at it. I definitely recommend it actually at $1,000. Obviously with used parts and whatever deals you can find, you could probably build a better price performance gaming PC. The thing is, with $1,000, you are not gonna be buying DDR5. And if you are, it'd probably be one stick of it, and that would also be from a Micro Center deal. And that is very similar to my 7600X3D gaming PC from Micro Center. But I'm gonna quit yapping, I'm not gonna lie, it's worth it. And it kinda hurts my PC business just knowing this PC exists, because I can't even really sell it. I'll probably lose money. So if you could check out the description to support me, that'd be very appreciated. And also if you made this far, you already did, so thank you.